And we are live.
Brilliant. Afternoon all.
Never in doubt, was it?
It was never in doubt at all. I was confident all the way through there. Honestly, what a game. What a game.
I know. It actually was for the neutral. Brilliant game.
Absolutely superb. And Leeds, to be fair, I mean, they absolutely murdered us in the first half, didn't they? Murdered us. They're a good side.
They did.
They're a good side, but when push comes to shove at the end, I mean, we're going to talk about the game, but when push comes to shove, we came through strong, really strong at the end.
I'll tell you what we do. I mean, we're not very organised anyway, so we've got a couple of guests that are going to come on. So we'll throw them on now anyway, just so that we can get them on before they run away, basically. So we get them on the stream now. Right. So I'll introduce Jamie. Jamie there? Is he gone? He's buffering.
He was there a minute ago.
Right, let's remove him a minute. Right, let's bring in Mike.
Yeah.
Here's
Hello,
Mike.
Good introduction.
There we are. Well, what I will say, Mike, kind of in your honour, after our little Facebook thread that we had yesterday, right. I took it upon myself to wear 3/4 length trousers and cycle down to my local Waitrose on a Brompton. I did gather up a couple of fancy.
Oh, look at that gamma ray!
Right, gamma ray. Now you can tell me. Yeah. I haven't tried one yet, so I've got that one. I've got this one here.
Well, that two very good beers. Two very good beers.
And one more as well. Look.
I'll show you.
It's a lager. See,
I'll tell you what, Nick. It's a slippery slope. It's a slippery slope. Once Mike kicks you off down that slope, you're knackered.
So, Mike, which one shall I go for first?
What was the? I'd save gamma till last.
Save gamma till last. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to go for the pogo.
Pogo. Oh yeah, lovely. Yeah, lovely
right.
pogo.
And I'm going to go for the pogo, and I'm going to pour it, and I'm going to drink it from a jam jar.
Well, look, you two, you're doing a bit highbrow for me. Me and Lisa are going out to Spoons after. I'm going to have a good few lagers, and then we're going for a curry. So all sorted.
Send me your table number.
Right. Anyway, let's see if I can bring Jamie in. Anyway, we've done Mike's intro. I think Jamie's back now. Jamie.
Right, hello, mate. Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, mate.
How you doing? You all right?
Yeah, I'm buzzing, mate. That was wicked, wasn't it?
Oh, good. Well, like I say, I mean, I never had any doubts, really, to be honest. I mean, I knew that goal was coming. It was, you know.
No, I mean, I didn't, because I come in, I got into, obviously, I watched the last 20 minutes of the first half, and I thought,
yeah,
it was a typical Leeds game, wasn't it? Do you know what I mean? End to end, and I know we was 1-0 down at the time, but I think I posted. I think I felt it was turning the screw in the second half. I knew we was going to get plenty of chances. It was just finishing them off, you know.
Yeah, no, I think so. I mean, I've got to be honest. I didn't have any complaints with the starting lineup. I think that they sort of picked themselves, didn't they? Really,
yeah. I mean, after the performance on Wednesday night from a couple of players, I thought, naturally in a lot of teams, you'd think that they'd a couple of the names would be thrown in, but obviously the first team ain't playing bad enough to be separated.
No. But the thing is, we're running in concurrent competitions anyway, aren't we? So everyone's going to get enough minutes. And to be quite honest, I think the starting 11 that we've got, they've kind of got us where we are now, haven't they? Really? So I mean, I wouldn't have any complaints, but if they were to bring in a Diop or someone like that, I think they're all good players. But
I was surprised that he brought Dawson on at the end instead of Diop. To be fair, that's like a trusted thing, isn't it? That's
absolutely
more than him.
Absolutely, I think I would though. I think I would in that scenario.
Have formed different, like decent. We've got our first team partnership with Ogbonna and Zuma at the moment, and then you've got your Diop and Dawson. They've formed their own sort of partnership in other games, so they
yeah, that's right.
I think when you're fighting on four fronts and going for the quadruple, you've got to switch the side around a little bit, haven't you?
Yeah.
You have. But look, I think long and short of it is
advocating squad rotation.
Well, do what you have to, don't you?
But long and short is, you can't complain about the starting lineup. I will say, and as James quite rightly pointed out at half time with my post, I kind of almost had a go at Moyes for almost being too open and too attacking.
You're always teetering on the brink of having a go at Moyes. You don't need much lifting, do you?
I know. I did, and
oh, where's he gone? I don't know.
I think James. Oh no, we're back. And again, I think sort of James hit the nail on the head really with what he said as well about the fact, like me with my stupid review last night. You know, I think he saw those injuries that they had, and I think he just thought, you know, take the game to him. You know, we're scoring goals for fun.
Which we did for 20 minutes.
I know.
There's always a danger of underestimating them when you come across teams that have got bad injuries, which I think it happened with us towards the end of last season. You know, when we lost Rice for 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah,
I think everyone thought I thought everyone seemed to think we was doomed, and I think the first 3 games we didn't have him where Noble slotted in there. I think we won 3 games. I know we teetered off towards the end a little bit. But that's the danger. You can underestimate teams with injuries, and I thought maybe we might have done that today. But you know, the character we got in the team is just we all pull in the same direction.
I don't think David Moyes underestimates anyone.
No, I don't think so. I think, and I'll tell you the other one as well, because sort of without running through, you know, every single detail, you know, we've all watched the game. So obviously Rafinha was a standout player in that first half. But then when he was,
mate, I was glad to see him go off on you.
I know. Yeah. He was brilliant. But for me, and it is because we all love him. It is the elephant in the room, and it was for the first half anyway. I'm talking about Souček. Souček's first half, and he starts of the season. You know, it was kind of it wasn't just for the mistake. I mean, that was awful, but. He's been quiet for a while.
I'll tell you what, though. I think he picked it up second half. I think he had
He did. But do you know what James? Do you know what James said? That James and Craig they had a comment thread at half time, and they said they think that Rice has almost been given the go ahead to sort of push forward and be more progressive and try and get goals. And what's happened is Souček is now sitting back a little bit, and that's been to a detriment of his game.
They switched that second half.
Do you know what? There was one player in our team I thought was quite quiet today. You know, more than usual with Declan Rice. I thought Rice had quite a quiet game today.
He was pretty quiet. He was pretty quiet, but I think Mike's right. Is that Souček in the first half? He was sitting quite deep, and Rice was surging forward, and that wasn't how we got our success last year. It was the other way around. It was Souček going forward, and in the second half, it seemed they switched roles. And so Souček was getting himself into the box hell of a lot more.
It's almost like they're trying to make Rice a dynamic player to sell him for more money.
Yeah.
But going back to the goal, let's just cover the goal. That was the perfect storm. That was a ridiculous. When you look at when he made that mistake and passed, you know, really bad pass. All of our 3 of our 4 defenders were up the pitch. They were stranded.
Zuma had progressed up the pitch and stayed there.
Soufal, Cresswell, and Zuma were stranded up the pitch. The only one that was back was Ogbonna, right? So that was really naive from Souček, and he shouldn't have done that. He won't make that mistake again. I'm pretty confident of it.
He will. No,
I think with a player with his quality as good as he's been, you know, the odd mistake you can sort of.
He's got enough credit to get away with one mistake like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, everyone loves him. Everyone loves him.
My son Lee's watching the stream. He's just come up. He reckons that was the best game of the season.
Yeah,
So far.
for sure, definitely.
Second half, we you know what I mean. We were scintillating. I thought second half we were
We really did. I mean,
Jared Bowen seems to get better and better every single game.
He's unreal, isn't he?
He's incredible.
I've always thought he'd look good, but you know, with all the interest with him in the summer, I'm starting to see now, you know, why these top teams are interested in him. You know,
I can't help.
He doesn't stop. That's it. He doesn't stop ever.
What do you think the papers put in a price on his head of 20 million though? Are they
quadruple that?
Yeah, exactly.
He's English for stuff. There's your marker.
Yeah. Young English player on a long contract, playing out of his skin, can play as a winger or a striker. 20 million on what planet?
I know. Well, the thing is, I don't think it's so much. I think it's his agent angling for a bigger deal. I think that's all it is.
Yeah, maybe.
I think that's all it is.
Fair enough.
He's probably got
well.
probably got Agent Rio and all, and he.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Agent Rio trying to flog him to Liverpool or Man United or something. Yeah.
So anyway, so what do you think happened in the second half? Because obviously there was a change. I know. I think Leeds decided to. I don't know whether it was a tactical thing, but they kind of started to sit back a little bit more and went on a counter attack, didn't they? Because our fullback started bombing on, and we kept on getting caught out with the ball.
That's exactly what I noticed slightly in the first half.
And wings and stuff.
We was restricted down the side. You know where Cresswell, Kufal normally get forward quite freely. I thought Leeds restricted that quite well in the first half. And in the second half,
they did.
I think maybe I think it might have been down to they lost a lot of energy, and we did expose the spaces.
Yeah, I think you're right. Jamie. I noticed in the first half they were first to every second ball, Leeds. And in the second half, as soon as we came out, we started getting after those second balls as well. And I think we gradually weakened them. We gradually, we carried on.
That was one a rocket from.
I don't think that's down to. I know Bielsa gets a lot of credit for his management style and this and the other. And I do think, going forward they are great. But I think we've got that in us as well. But I think we've got a better. We're managed better because we use it in stages. They tire themselves out by the 60th minute and they're fucked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think everyone knows that with Leeds, to be fair. I think everyone knows by the 60th minute Leeds are shot. Yeah. And they've got no subs to come on.
Yeah, that's
why
they had nothing really, did they?
Yeah. It wasn't the worst thing in the world going in one side. When you're looking, when you're losing, you sit there and think, oh, for fuck's sake. But in this type of game, you think, it's only a matter of time before we turn the screw, sort of thing.
Yeah. As the second half went on, they got weaker and weaker. You could see it physically, weaker and weaker. It was a bit of a lucky goal from. I mean, first of all, there was the disallowed goal. The disallowed goal where Antonio's gone up and tried.
He needs a straitjacket, doesn't he? He's literally
yeah.
But Melié's teeth out.
That's what I love about Antonio. He seems to be one of them sort of players that when the crowd starts getting on his back or he gets a few, he's a big bloke. Do you know what I mean? If people start trying to kick lumps out of him, that's something it's going to play into his hands. He loves it. It's going to fire him up, and it did.
To be fair though, do you know what I will say? They had a new player come in. Their centre back, Cresswell, Barry Cresswell, whatever his name was.
Barry Cresswell.
Yeah. He was awesome. He was really good against him. He gave him a real good physical battle, I thought.
He's one for the future. I think he was comfortable on the ball when they seemed to look for him a lot. They started to look for him a lot more. Do you know what I mean? They seemed to look for him a little bit too much. I think Leeds in the end, because I think a few balls played back to him. Played right into our hands. And I noticed, when you play Leeds, that's perfect for us because we got big, strong, and we've got Antonio up front. We've got strength in midfield. But the ball seems to just go straight through midfield every time from one of their attacks, and it just.
Yeah, absolutely. But Mike, I think you pointed something out as well. Where obviously we were discussing Souček's performance in the first half versus second half. Well, do you think that was due to a change in role?
Yeah, well, they switched access, didn't they? He was put to attack, and Dec was told to sit back. That's it.
Yeah.
It was like last season. Like Souček is more dangerous. Yeah. I think you're taking the best parts away from both players.
Yeah. I agree.
When you switch the roles, they're trying to get Declan to be more dynamic, score more goals. I don't think he's that player. He's not a box-to-box player like that. I
don't know. I think in the bigger games, against the toughest teams, like last week against United, he was fucking magnificent.
When he's sitting and he's holding, he's brilliant.
Jamie and Mike, don't you find that Souček goes on those surging long runs at the end of games when he gets tired?
Yeah,
he doesn't.
But that's what I think against the lesser teams. I think Rice and Souček, they will. Sort of, they'll mix and match their styles.
I think they're supposed to. I don't know if they do.
No, it's not working as dynamically as what you would think. It's not like one.
I think they're supposed to like one goes, one stays, one goes, one stays. I don't think it does work like that.
I think they're both fighting. I think they're both fighting for that attacking midfielder role. That's what it looks like to me.
I think you're right.
But the thing is, Souček's proven. He's proven in doing what he does.
Oh God, yeah.
He gets goals. Well, yeah. Also, not just that, right? Declan Rice is definitively one of the best central defensive midfielders in world football.
Yeah.
So there is
For
no
sure.
competition in that role there. So therefore, if they both can't play that role, then it makes sense that Rice sits and holds because
Yeah.
it gives us better cover. It gives us better cover.
But
You
why
can't
are we?
You can't go wrong with leaving Rice to do what he does, really, can you? You can't.
No, you can't. But at the same time, Rice can't dictate how he's going to play and where he's going to play. I know he wants to develop into that player, that box-to-box midfielder, but he has to do it gradually. He has to do it in line with the progress of the team. He can't just, switch it around to suit Rice. You know
what I mean? This, I think he's only 22 still. Do you know what I mean? He's got plenty of years left in him to develop into that sort of player.
Yeah.
And at the moment, with the success we had last season with him sitting and Souček making them runs forward, I don't think it's his time to start trying to develop his game like that.
Yeah.
No, that's right. I'll tell you what I think we'd do. Moving on, because should we operate with three? What we'll do, Jamie, we'll take you out for now. I think if you sit backstage for a minute, and then what we'll do, we'll roll you off, and then we'll roll you back on, and we'll try and just bring one person in. Do you think there's a bit of a conflict, Gal?
Let's give it. Let's try it. Let's try it. We're learning at this. We're new at this.
Yeah.
Right? So we don't know how to do it. We don't know how to do it.
I'll keep on seeing everyone buffering on my screen as well.
No,
I'm all right. I can't see anyone buffering.
The three of us, Nick, the three of us, fine. It's your broadband again. So
bloody hell. Okay.
You're the only one buffering occasionally.
It's my fault. All right. Okay.
No, I've got no buffering at all.
Okay. All right. Perfect. All right. Now leave it as it is then. So
Obviously,
obviously,
point about set pieces.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's happened?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. They're terrible. I mean,
What's happened?
When Cresswell was playing the out-swinging corner, it wasn't so bad, especially in the second half. It was all right. With the in-swinging corner, he gets it far. When you've got a keeper that's 6'6" and barely has to jump to catch the ball, you've got to keep it away from him when you're doing an in-swinging corner. And more often than not, it was straight into the keeper's hands. As they tired in the second half, his corners became more effective, but it's the set pieces as well. Apart from the corners, it's the free kicks. The free kicks we seem to have no idea. There was one that was very good in the first half where Fornells made the early run. That nearly worked. But whenever we try and loft the ball in, it never works. And more often than not, that's what we're trying to do. Antonio ain't going to win a ball in the air, is he? He ain't going to. No. You can't do it.
But he's a superb header of the ball. So
No, but I mean, up against strong defenders, he's very rarely going to win a duel like that. It's got to be Souček or Zuma or someone like that comes forward and wins the header. I thought we'd have more joy, to be honest. When you look at Zuma at the back, he's totally dominant. He's like the alpha male up against attackers.
I've already noticed he's starting to actually dictate our defence and say, "You go there, you go there, you go."
He's a leader. He's
pointing them around already.
But he doesn't lose a header, and if it's outside the box, he thinks nothing of wiping an attacker out. He just wipes it out.
I always thought he'd be a fantastic signing.
There was one challenge in that first half. Did you see it where he ran and won a header, but he was running at about 60 miles an hour and he jumped up and completely wiped the bloke out in front of him.
Yeah.
It was very good. What did you make of Jared Bowen's goal?
Own goal.
Yeah,
but I mean, it was the run before.
It's deserved for him, isn't it?
He's starting to be. He was always a runner. He was always a hard worker from day one. But he's starting to add that, flair to his game now. I think, which is going to make him, a great, even better player.
I think if he could be just a tad more clinical in front of goal, he would be a ridiculously, in terms of his value, it would go through the roof. Because
I don't know. I think you're all being a little bit too Danby. It takes a lot of skill, precision to play a ball off of two up players.
I agree. But I thought it was a deserved goal. I think we were coming back into the game. I mean, in the first half they were the better team, but it weren't like we weren't creating chances. So I did think in the second half when we came out, we was going to grow into the game a little bit more. And then obviously we got a few chances, didn't we? Antonio had that one where he done a bit of a twist coming in from the left hand side and
that was just
coming into the box. He had that one and that was blocked. That was on target. That shot. And then that the beautiful moment. I mean, what a goal! What a goal that was,
a
wasn't it?
fantastic goal. What a goal that was. I took the
But
fucking
then,
I took the
is this
roof
the
off
thing
of
with
that
Antonio?
goal.
When he doesn't think, he puts these away. If he's got chances and he thinks, he fluffs them.
Do you not think that
He's
that was
not
a bit of a
thinking.
cultured goal though? Because it
That was like a proper number 9 finish. To be fair, that was a
amazing.
Did you know
Because
when
it was
you,
the ball was
when
whipped
you
in.
see,
The ball was whipped in.
Yeah.
Go on, Jamie.
sorry, mate. Do you know when you see Antonio like playing like this and slotting into the centre forward role so well? I mean, he looks like a natural centre forward. And then I don't think
He does now.
I don't think I'm being too strong by saying this. I think he'd walk into most teams, playing like that, and it just makes you wonder how it's taken so long for him to move. You know, he's been played out in so many different positions.
It's David Moyes, though, isn't it? It's David
Yeah.
Moyes.
What he used to do, what Antonio used to do, is he used to run himself into the ground. By the end of the game, he could barely move, right? So, and that was when he started the game off too fast and he'd pull a hamstring or something. Now he seems to be working himself into the game. He's playing a bit deeper. He's really getting into tussles and harassing the defenders. And as you saw today, what happens, the net result of that, of all that like work, all that work and physicality he's putting through the game, but he's saving his legs to the end. The last 10 minutes, he was all over their defence. They didn't know what to do with him. He's pacing.
Oh yeah, it looked like he'd just come on fresh legs as a substitution.
Yeah. But absolutely, he's definitely managing himself.
Was that? Yeah, he's very much.
What the long distance runners do?
Very
Save it for the last.
Yeah, but I thought that goal. I mean, I think you're right, Mike. 90% of the time, I do agree with you. I think Antonio sort of almost Colton Cole like. If he's got too much time to think about it, he'll fluff it. But that goal, I thought, was beautiful. I think it was a great ball from Deck. He took the ball. It was that second touch. It was the second touch that took the defender out of the way because he controlled it.
Yeah.
Next touch around the defender. Defender's gone. And then, like you say, opened his body up. Oh, it was a great finish. It really was.
Finish of a striker who's on top of his game.
Who's a number 9? Who is a proper number 9 now? That's it. Yeah. He's a striker.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
I would. He could get 20 goals for us this season.
He could.
He could. I hope he does. I hope he does. He deserves it.
The more the games go by, I think going back to what Gary was saying about how he possibly developed his game by not running himself into the ground so much. I think you're starting to feel a lot more calmer about him getting injured now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of that, like Gary said, I mean, I just hope that people don't start picking on him for being lazy because there's large periods of the game where it does look like he's just strolling around. But what that is, that's under instruction. He's managing himself more now. He's not chasing lost causes. There's just, there is no point in Antonio.
Did Tony Cottee get accused of being lazy?
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember being up back in the 80s. I was up away at Sheffield Wednesday. It was about 1989. And somebody went up there. One of our fans went up there specifically to slag off Tony Cottee throughout the game. He was calling him lazy and everything else. Yeah, absolutely right. It's a sign of a good striker when they're called lazy because they're preserving
the goals.
Fucking lazy.
Well, you know that even though he's not been running his legs off, you know that those defenders are feeling a bit of pain, and the keeper's definitely feeling a bit of pain, isn't he? He put himself about.
But you know what? I think that possibly could have been one of the first things on the agenda when they got back from pre-season. You know what I mean? That was something that they spoke about and worked on. I think because he looked a great striker last season, but even though 6 games we're in now, he looks even better. What I mean? It must have been worked on. It must have been something that had been spoken about when it came in.
I think like you just said, Jamie, though, isn't it gutting that we've only just discovered that he's got this sort of talent at the age that he's at now.
No. You can't take credit away. Bielsa before the game, what he said about our team, he said that since last year, the big difference is every single player in that team has improved at West Ham, right? Yeah. And that is down to the coaching staff. So if Bilic had thrown him up front, would it have worked? No, probably not. Right? He's being developed, and you saw today. I don't know if you noticed it as well, but this is something I picked up, and that is you got to give man of the match to Antonio in the end for scoring the winner. Yeah. But my man of the match up until the game started turning around was Ben Rama.
God, for sure.
He played well. He played well.
Because
really well.
Two interceptions he made.
Guys, exactly. The defensive side of his game.
I've got to sort my dinner out, but I'll carry on watching and I'll carry on commenting.
Okay, Jamie. Cheers for joining the stream, mate.
mate.
Thanks very much.
See you later.
Cheers, Jamie. Thanks, mate.
Yeah, so that was Ben Rama. The defensive side of his game, when he joined us, that defensive side was not there.
Was not there, no.
Right,
No.
and now it's very much there. Right, like you said, that one where the outstretched pass back to the keeper, which completely stopped. I mean, that was going to be a good chance, right? And then
That was
he's
the goal for me.
but at the other end, he's doing the most beautiful things. Like he's got 3 players around him. The guy just glides in and glides out and comes out with the ball. He's just like he's nonchalant with the way he beats people.
Well, there was a point at the Man United game last week at home where he spanned someone. I've not seen it replayed anywhere. If that was Ronaldo, it would be everywhere.
Yeah. No,
He spanned someone like they weren't there and just went bush and he was gone.
Yeah.
I think we're seeing the player that we knew was there, but Moyes has got this bit more into him as a team player. But there was a point in the game where someone did him and he just sort of stood there and went, shit.
Yeah.
I've been done, and he didn't go back. And I thought Moyes is going to stood next to his
again, Ben Rama stays on. I didn't see the last minute, but he stays on for 90 minutes, right?
He's always the first hook, usually.
Yeah, that's the difference. Last season, he was getting hooked on 70 minutes every time, and his fanboys were getting really upset about it. But Moyes was asked the other day. He was asked about Krul, and he said, Krul. It was after the game in midweek, and he said, "How do you think Krul did?" And he said, yeah, he did really well. But remember, sometimes it takes a player 6 months to bed into the Premier League team. And he said, look at Ben Rama. Look how long it took him. Now he's a Premier League player. Look how long it took him. And he mentioned Vlasic as well. But he said Vlasic has got more Premier League experience, albeit it doesn't show, does it?
Yeah, it doesn't.
Not yet. No, it doesn't.
He played a very small part in that winning goal. I don't know if you saw it right at the very beginning of the move. He helped win the ball. So. But the thing that sticks in the mind is always the glaring one. It's that cross where he crossed it and there was no one there.
Yeah. But having said that, you've been praising Ben Rama. Ben Rama did exactly the same thing.
He did. He done almost a carbon copy.
He did exactly the same thing. He floated that ball into no man's land. I thought.
I choose to see what I want to see.
Yeah. But I think Fornell's played well. He kind of he did his.
I think he's brilliant. I absolutely love him. I love him to death.
Top class. What did you think of Kufau and Cresswell?
Well, I think a lot of players had a bad first half, and I would include Kufau, I would include Cresswell, and Fornells and Souček. We basically got battered in the first half. They were all over us. We couldn't get the ball back.
Going for a bit of show off.
Yeah. I think second half everybody improved. I don't think Soufal's quite back to where he was last season yet. Cresswell, I don't know. His set pieces and his corners were rubbish today, largely, apart from one or two. Getting forward down the line, he wasn't good today, was he? Let's face it.
Maybe that answers my set piece question then. Where have our set pieces gone? Because the delivery might not be there.
That was such a strength of ours last year, wasn't it? It really was, because it wasn't just
goals from set pieces.
I know.
But Fornells was taking a few set pieces last year as well, wasn't he? So
Bowen's took a few corners as well.
Yeah, Bowen, you're right. Yeah, Bowen was as well. So why is now Cresswell taking all of them, apart from the ones today that Ben Rama took?
Maybe we'll have to resort to bringing Noble on to take free kicks as well.
I think, to be fair, he's going for the left-sided players taking the left-sided corners and the right-sided player is taking the right-sided, so it's not left exposed anywhere.
Yeah, that's probably
which makes sense.
Whenever we took a corner before, we always used to get scored against.
Yeah.
Which was weird.
Yeah. But
the good thing is we're up to 7th in the league, by the way.
We're climbing. We're going back to Europe.
11 points. We're only.
See, this pisses me off now because that Southampton game hurts now.
Yeah.
You didn't go, did you? It's right on your doorstep.
No, on my doorstep. Yeah.
Well, you didn't miss much. We went.
I know, exactly.
It was rubbish. Oh, terrible it was. But there's a couple of firsts today, right? It was the first time Antonio scored against Leeds. I think that's something you wrote. It's the first time we've beaten them back to back at Elland Road ever.
Is that the third? No, it's 3 times in a row.
I'm coming to the third one. I'm coming to the third one. It's the first time we've beaten them back to back at Elland Road ever.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
right.
the first time since 1948-49. We all remember that season, right?
Yeah.
When we're beating them three times on the spin. So we beat them 3 times on the spin. That must have been home away home back in 48-49. Yeah. So a lot of firsts. We're setting new records. We are truly massive.
We are massive.
Yeah.
We are.
So
we are truly massive. But no. I've got to be honest. It was we're gonna have to look at wrapping it up now. We're gonna try and keep it to 30 minutes or carry on. What do you want to do?
Yeah. Well,
we're at 30 minutes now. Should we just carry on?
Well,
I'm look at my notes. I'm looking at my notes.
Bloody hell, you've come prepared.
Yeah, I have.
Go on, then, Mike. Go on. Give us some of your research from the game. Come on.
Well, the build-up play.
Well,
for a start, our build-up play, the first 20 minutes, absolutely sublime. It was brilliant. And then, like, the mistake was made, they scored, and then we sort of reverted to this sort of old West Ham type where we're panicking for a bit. Moyes got him in half-time. Bang. No, let's reset. And we're back to normal. But I still think they reset that Souček Rice. I think they reset it at the second half.
Yeah, well, that was critical. I think that something had to change. I mean, well, it weren't so much Rice because Rice did have a good game. I think he plays well wherever you play him. But it's quite clear that Souček can't do everything. He can't do that CDM role.
I just think he looks knackered.
He can't do it on his own. He's not mobile enough. And also he hasn't got the same. I don't want to be rude because he is a good player, but one of Rice's the reason Rice is so good in that role is because he's intelligent. He anticipates. He can read the game.
Yeah.
He knows where people are going to be passing the ball. He's already moving it. That's how he manages to intercept so many passes. And I must admit, what I do like about Rice, like Jamie said, what I do like about Rice from the first half is when, do you remember that run he went on, which he keeps doing?
Yeah.
He intercepts, he picks the ball up, and he drives. And I don't want to take that away from him.
I think that's what they're trying to get him to do, like the European game, where he actually finished it off. That's what they want him to be. And I don't know if he's got that all the time in his game.
I think he's got it, but I think it's at a detriment to what we're trying to do.
I think
Souček,
I don't know. I think it's something Rice wants to develop his game in that direction. I think we should help it. We should help him to do that. But
I think so. I think
it's got to be done in a sensible way. And primarily, if you look at what Souček contributed to the team last year by way of goals and everything else, don't turn your nose up at that and say, I'm going to leave you back now. Thanks for scoring all those goals last year.
Yeah.
We're not going to let you go. We're going to make you sit now, and we're going to let Deck go forward. Well, it's a proven thing, and that's surely going to piss Souček off if he's forced to do that. 'Cause that is a big part of his game, right? Big part of his game, goal scoring. But that
Rice is going to be gone the end of this season anyway, isn't he? So.
Yeah, that's right. Russell Core mentioned he was unhappy about the lack of subs by Moyes. I don't know. I mean, Vlasic came on with like 15 minutes to go, and then there was a last-minute sub, right, with Dawson coming on.
No, Dawson came on to shore it up, which was where I thought Diop would come on because that's the tried and trusted. Obviously, Dawson. He trusts Dawson to take that last few minutes out of the game. Yeah, but I thought Diop would come on just because he played so well midweek, but there you go.
Yeah. No.
Got a comment here from Will Wheeler. There we are.
Missed the first 5 minutes. What's he playing at? Has he got,
I know.
Personal life or something?
But I think like us, he thought Benny's defensive work today was superb. He has beefed up a bit, and he's showing he's far more than a show pony. Which, to be fair to Will, I think Will's always kind of had Benny's back. He's always liked him.
And you know, if he ends up the way he's going in, turning into a complete player, say he's got the defensive bit now. He's always had the middle bit, you know, where he's you know, he's very cute and he takes players on and he makes spaces, he creates chances. If he could also add the goal scoring to it, and he's had a few this year already. But if it become like a regular,
perfectly well with the goals,
yeah, he could. If he became a regular contributor with goals, he can end up being worth a fortune. That guy. I mean,
absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely. Another one here. This is again. This is from Lee, my son. You can tell well, getting carried away. I don't know who he gets that from, but might be a little bit biased due to Ronaldo and Kane. But I think Antonio is in the running for a golden boot.
Ooh. If he scores 20 goals this season, I will be over the moon.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, right? Can we take a moment to pause and laugh at Man United?
Man United.
What, karma?
Yeah.
Funny is that?
Karma's a bitch these days, isn't it? It pays instantly.
Well,
double dose.
Very
a double dose.
very quickly.
Yeah, I double dose. They got it on Wednesday. And
wasn't it Bruno?
Yeah.
Well, you know that that penalty he took. You know, it's still rising, right?
I didn't see it. Was it a comically bad penalty?
From the Euros.
He slammed it over the bar. It went up closer to the upper tier than the goal.
Right, okay, right. Well, this is the problem, right? Do you know when we go back to when we was talking about our preferred penalty style, when we was kind of dismantling the way that Noble took it, and you said you prefer a Julian Dick style penalty because you know he kind of smashes it for he just smashes it. It don't matter what the keeper does. Right? But the issue is if you don't catch it right and you spank it, it's fucking bad, isn't it? It's gone.
Don't matter. Smash it.
Yeah,
but that is a worry though. I think
what's
if
the
you
point
don't
of putting
connect
it at the keeper's height and trying to be clever?
Oh no, I agree. But
there's two things, right? Smash it and get it on target. If you do those two things and you miss it, like the keeper happens to go the right way or save it or something, but 9 times out of 10 it's going to go in. If you hit the ball as hard as Julian Dix did or Ray Stewart did,
and down the middle as well, down the middle.
Yeah. And when they hit him hard like that, the keeper knows he has to gamble, he has to guess because he knows it's going so fast that if he doesn't guess and actually go one way or the other, there's no chance he's got of getting it. Whereas Noble is like he's been clinical, absolutely clinical with penalties.
I swear, a warmed up Noble puts up.
Brentford have just gone 1-0 up at Liverpool.
Well, we will expunge.
They have as well.
we will expunge that penalty from Noble's record the other night because he don't really deserve that. But when you look at his penalties down the years, that is one cool customer, someone who generally gives the keeper the eye.
Remember the Liverpool game years ago at the bowling when he just like 90th minute penalty and he just steps up, bang.
Is it cool or is there an element of luck? Because have you ever seen Noble put away a beautiful penalty? I haven't.
I think his stats are 38 out of 43.
Yeah, I know that. I know what his stats are.
The one he missed the other night. That is a lot. That's a lot.
Remember the Euros?
What I mean is,
21 Euros when he scored like 3 or whatever. They had that bloody massive penalty shoot, and he scored like three of them in the bloody penalty shootout.
They're always around. They're always around, sort of around the sort of middle, just off centre. They're never.
But he's got the presence of mind and the calmness to do it. Whereas someone like Julian Dix, if he tried to do it, he'd miss. And Ray Stewart, when he used to start placing them, he'd miss as well. You know, the problem is we've not got another Noble with that presence of mind. So we've got to look for someone who.
I think Benny's 6 out of 6 on penalties.
Is he?
Yes.
Is he really?
Yes.
Oh,
do you know?
4 for Brentford and 2 for his French club.
Sam Delaney made a good point about that penalty missed the other day. He said, when you look at the players that were on the pitch at the time, there's probably one player, when you look at his laid-back demeanour, that nobody ever talks about, that if you gave that ball to Yarmolenko, you know he's just going to stroke it in.
Yarmolenko takes
he would just stroke it in. He just stroke it in.
And in those years, he would have just stood up there, left-footed penalty taker, bang, there you go. Thank you very much.
I think you're absolutely right. I think the one thing that people underestimate with Yarmolenko is his level of arrogance. Apparently, he's got a lot of self-belief. Right, him and on that.
Yeah, I know the step overs he does.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
To be fair, if he puts in a shift like he did the other day, in the cup competitions, he's going to be a good, useful squad member. He will. He will be. I think he was good the other day against Man United in that second game. I know he's got limitations. I know he frustrates sometimes, but you know what? He is capable of doing good things.
That's why I said I'd give him 8 out of 10, because you don't expect that from him, right? You don't expect it from him. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But anyway, what have you got? Any more questions? You got any more questions?
Questions?
Go on, Mike. Some of your
right, okay, hang on. Was Rafinha wearing a string vest?
Was it?
You know what? I think he might have been. You know, I think he might. Have been.
Look at the replays. He had a proper vest on under his top.
It's the imprint. It's chilly, though, isn't it? He's Brazilian.
Yeah, but a string vest ain't going to keep you warm, is it?
He'd be wearing like some sort of Under Armour shit.
Yeah.
Got a string vest.
He plays on the beaches usually, the beaches of Rio, and now he's got to play in Leeds on a cold Saturday afternoon. Oh, wait till we. Anyway, what a good player though. Very good player. Like him.
Oh, I do like him.
He's amazing. Got another one from Will Wheeler. One last point. We probably already covered it. How good is Bowen becoming? Mike, what do you reckon? Do you
I think he's always been that good.
Yeah.
I just think we're just actually realising now his actual strengths, and
I think
the
you're right.
pressing that he does, it's amazing.
I think he has improved though, and I think like every other player in that squad, he's improved, and especially the fact that he can play up front, and he did bloody well the other night playing up front.
No, yeah, for sure.
Definitely. For a guy of limited stature, you know what I mean? He really put himself about, and he was a pain in the arse to the defenders.
I've got a surprising stat on Bowen, if you want to hear it.
Go on,
he's got the most successful take-ons of any player in the Premier League this year.
Really?
The most successful take-ons, yeah. One-on-ones.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. He's
yeah, no.
I'm not sure what that means.
I love his sort of tigerish
dribbling past players.
Yeah, he's sort of tigerish, bloody-minded mentality where he doesn't seem to be intimidated by anybody. He'll take anyone on, right? He doesn't care. He doesn't care. I like him a lot, and he's going to be another one that's going to end up, if he carries on the curve that he's on at the moment, the improvement.
If Liverpool are after him already, then he's got something.
I don't know. I think, like Nick said, I think that's probably agents stirring up need for a pay rise. And he probably does need a new deal, because
he deserves a pay rise.
He's a permanent fixture in our first team in every competition. You know, the guy's got an unbelievable engine to play like he did the other night, and then to come out and play like he did today.
Two recent games, Gary, on the bounce. He's done that. He did the two. That's 3 games in no time at all, and he is literally he's pulled his bollocks out as well.
He's got such an engine on him.
Well, that last game, the Man United game, do you remember when he ran over to the corner and he kind of created that chance, and he was just as sprightly as what you would imagine he would be in the first minute. He's so fit, honestly. He's a brilliant player. I love him. And I wasn't his biggest fan, as you know. I did get frustrated with him. I always thought he had
No.
I did get frustrated with him, honestly, because I thought he made terrible decisions. I thought he had no end product. He had end product. He made bad decisions. So his use of the ball was terrible last year. But this year, he's gone up 10 levels. I'm telling you, this year he's gone up.
To be fair, Nick, Mike, Nick gave Bowen 2 games until he condemned him. He's rubbish.
I know people who've given Areola one half of football.
Yeah. But
people on Twitter actually say Mark Noble should go to Luton because he's fucking shit, and it's ridiculous.
Twitter's full of loons, isn't it? I mean it's the Wild West, isn't it? I mean, you get a load of sensible people, but you get these absolute kooks. What the things they say, One
of them was from my neck of the woods. I had to block him. Fareham Hammer. Fuck you.
He's across the road looking in.
Fareham Hammer. Fareham Hammer. Big shout.
He's been named. Yeah,
that's it. Well, anyway, second half, right? I'm not bouncing back, but were you confident that we was going to come back into it and win the game in the second half? Did you feel confident?
No.
No.
Because I wrote, we ain't coming back to this, and then we equalised.
Oh.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect.
More
because-
negativity is what we need. It's
At,
good for the team.
at the same time, I wrote, we need to watch out for Serafina. Then he scored.
You've got the same problem that I've got, Mike. I was busy slagging off Soufal to Ross in the living room, and then he goes and scores.
Yes.
Like every time, doesn't matter. I'll tell you what, I was confident we were going to get a point out of it by hook or by crook. I didn't think we'd win.
No, I wasn't confident at half time.
No, even though I understand 2-0. My prediction was 2-0, but before the game. But at half time, I thought we'd come out strong. He'd reorganise in the second half, and he did. I did think they'd tie it, and they did. So I thought
And me and Russ changed our tops.
Yeah, but I thought we looked so out of sorts and lost our shape in the first half that I couldn't see us coming back and winning it. So that was just.
I think what happened. I'll be honest. I think David Moyes, because he is a member of our group. I think he read my post last night. I think he read my review, on the research that I'd done watching the Leeds One channel.
Yeah,
and I mean, they must have been over the moon because honestly, if you'd have heard the way that they were talking on that review show, they were terrified. They were terrified.
Yeah.
But honestly, they were terrified. They really were.
I love some of this because you could hear a lot of our crowd singing in there, but from the Leeds side, after we went 2-1 up, they'd done that old classic. You only sing when you're winning. I love it. Yeah. Should we? Have we got any more questions from the group? If not, we should wrap up.
Yeah, I think we'll wrap it up. No,
that's it. That's all my notes.
That was a good session. Well, Mike, brilliant guest. You will have to come back on and join us regularly.
Yeah, I will be here whenever you want me to be here.
Oh, that's fantastic. And Jamie, to you as well, mate. I know you've gone there to have your dinner. I hope you're having something delicious and fulfilling. And come on, you Irons. What a great win.
Come on, you Irons. See you later.
See you later.